I'm in the state of Kansas, about 20 minutes south of Lawrence, Kansas, at Clinton Lake, and I'm in the Wood Ridge Park section. We got a cool little trail out here that's a 4-mile loop, and you can do dispersed camping without a permit or paying for anything, as long as you respect the rules. Basically, leave no trace. I'd like to thank Jason, the Outdoor Wanderer, for turning me on to this location. Let's see, weather conditions today are just freaking excellent. It's very, we got a fork in the trail here. Yeah, let's go this way. It's very mild temperatures for this time of year, high of 80s, and the low tonight should be around the 60s. So this is perfect camping weather. 30% chance of rain. I hope it rains, but it probably won't. Pack of choice is the Alice pack, and I am loaded down heavy. I did not weigh it because I really don't want to know how much weight's in there, but I'm thinking anywhere between 50 and 60 pounds. Yep, here is one of the campsites off the trail that you can use. And as you can see, it's pretty freaking trashed. That's a lot of respect for nature, isn't it? Okay, anyway, well, we're going to go down a lot closer to the lake, though. So, back to the Alice pack. She's loaded heavy, but I'm only doing 2 miles. And if I can't carry this much weight 2 miles, I'm a wuss, basically. But I've got a lot of fun projects planned for this outing. So, first goal is to find a decent campsite by the lake. This is kind of cool. I do believe this is going to be home for the night. What a hike getting up here. I was afraid if I went any further, I'd run back into the trailhead. But this has got a lot of potential. So, let me get this pack dropped off and we'll start getting set up. I found a really nice area to set my shelter up right here. So let's get that taken care of real quick. Now that we got our shelter up, next thing I need to add is the sleep system and the bug net. Okay, after we got our sleep system and bug net installed, there's a slim possibility of rain, which I do hope it does, so I can collect some water instead of go down the hill. I'll show you that in a minute. I think we're just going to put a little tarp over the top of it, just for a little extra security. Now that I got the tarp set up, let me show you around my shelter system. We'll start here at the back. You notice I got some stakes in here, and I've got the back lifted off the ground. That way if it rains, the water will just go right underneath, and this is slanted at a downhill angle, so my head's going to be uphill, feet downhill, and the water will just run on down. Did that there. Just a really simple system I made, and I do have a video on that if you want to get a chance to check it out. And I put a bug net in there, and as you can see, it's all over the front. It's not bulletproof. We still got a little hole right there, but not a big deal. And it just hooks on the stakes. And I'm doing some luxury camping this week, so I brought my pillow. I've been dying to use that thing. I've had it for a couple of years. And yes, I'm using the wool blanket with the fleece liner in there. And you can see there's still dirt in it from the last time I used it. So yeah, that ought to be interesting. And I do have a video on how I made that setup right there. And I got that idea from Kenneth Cram. Gave me that idea. So let's close this up. Keep the bugs out. Okay, let's take just a quick look at the tarp. It's just a basic tarp. This is the one I use mainly for my hammock. And it's an 8x10 camo tarp. And I've got it tied off to these trees. And if you notice, these I think are cedar trees. So, not very mosquitoes in this area. But it's just tied off. And if it rains, I will lower this end down. The water will run down the tarp and of course run down the hill. And I'll catch some of that in a bag just in case. So, go over here. And those are all tied off the same way. I did have to put one pole on there in order to get the angle I wanted. But it is deadfall, so I'm not too worried about that. And of course, my little tent light. Since I'm carrying all this gear in with me, I decided to bring my tent light in with me. Okay, the next thing on the list, and I'm not really looking forward to this one, is we gotta harvest water. And we'll be using the good old Sawyer squeeze. Let's see which one I have with me. I've got several of them now. I do have a couple of the minis. Okay, this is the large one. Not a big deal at all. And it has, which bladder? Okay, this is a 64-ounce bladder. That's good. Okay. The only problem is we got to go down there. Not looking forward to this. Whew. This does not look fun at all. Whew, that was not fun. Huh. This campfire ring looks real familiar, Jason. I'll leave it at that. Alright, let's go get us some water. Watch for snakes in the process. Man, it's nice down here. I wouldn't mind go swimming. Okay. Man, that feels good. Back to the water situation. Alright, we got some water. Not a lot. I would say maybe 16 ounces if we're lucky. So I have a feeling we'll be coming down here later with a plastic bag. Okay, let's head back up. It looks real familiar. Whew. Remember, water flow. Okay. Another thing, do not, and I mean do not over tighten these. Alright, we're good. Let's go ahead and throw this on our pole. Okay, we should be ready for filtered water. A little heads up, when you store these, you have to clean them out with bleach water, so there might be a little bleach water left in the filter, so we're going to check real quick. Nope, I think we're good. The best way to check is to pour some out on your fingers, and if it feels real slimy, there's still some bleach in there, and it smells nasty, so I think we're good with that department. Another thing about these that's really important, they filter out everything but viruses. So if you're unsure of your water source, I would definitely boil it, just to be safe. Okay, starting to get dark, so it must be around 6 or 6:30. Time to harvest some firewood, and okay, let's get our fire started. I was hanging out with some friends I just recently met down by the cliffs by the river. I'd like to give them a quick shout out to Jeremy and Stephanie W. This will be for you guys. Yeah, don't know what I'm talking about. Freaking took long enough. Alright, we're going to get that fire up, get some nice coals, and we're going to get dinner on. This is some good stuff. Nothing like tamales out in the field. It was definitely worth the extra weight in the pack for these. Oh, hot. It is time to do a Mountain House meal review. Irish D asked me to do one a while back, so this is for you, brother. We're going to be having apple crisp. Now this is more of a luxury item, a dessert as you would say. So let's see, we're going to need 8 ounces of boiling water. And luckily we already have our water boiling there. I put that on while I was eating the hot tamales and they were freaking good. So remember, always take the dry pack out of these things. And this is a 2-stage process, it would appear. And here's our little dry pack, so we're going to take that out. And here comes the fun part. Man, that smells really good. Is getting that water off the fire without burning myself. So this ought to be darn interesting. It has been in there a while. And we're going to pretty much wing it on how much water to put in there. And this is the water we did filter out of the Sawyer squeeze. So I'm just going to dump a little bit in. There we go. Oh, that's much better. Okay, it has to sit for 5 minutes. And then we're just going to add the crisp part to the meal. So let's let that set up for a little bit. Okay, it has been 3 minutes. It is time to add our apple crisps. The crisps right here is basically in this little package. All you do is tear it open and pour it in and mix it a little bit. And we'll just mix those up. I think I'm going to put a little bit more water. Just a touch. Okay, let's give it the first taste test, the all-important one. It's not bad. It's a little bitter. It's edible. As far as energy boost out of this, because it's so high in sugars, I'm thinking you're going to get a massive energy or sugar spike, and you'll probably get a good hour of energy from it. It's not bad. So I'm going to give it, I won't say a 7 out of 10. Of course, 10 being excellent and 0 being it's crap. But there you go. You've had a Mountain House meal review. It is edible though. So I'm going to sit back and enjoy this. Okay, I'm getting ready to wrap it up. I got the game camera set. And when you walk in front of it, see if it's working there. There we go. Triggers the infrared, so that's set up. Pack is nicely covered in a tarp. Let's turn off my tent light. We don't need it no more. Sawyer, I'm going to leave it right where it is. It's doing just fine. And fire is just about out. Hopefully I'll have some embers in the morning to start another fire. And yes, I burnt that can to burn the food out of it, so the little creatures won't come looking. Don't have much wood left, but that's all right. I got my stove for the morning. What do we got going on? Just checked my tarp and there is no bugs in there. Or my shelter, there's no bugs in there, thank God. Put the water in there in case I get thirsty. Phone's on charge. So the next thing will be me hopping in there and going to bed. I'm going to check the camera one more time. Switch these lights off and see if I can't catch it. Oh, there it goes. I just caught it. There it is. Okay, it's working just fine. I just got to remember when I get up in the morning to go this way when I take care of business. Well, that's it for tonight. I shall see you folks in the morning. Good morning, everybody. I think it's time to get up and get some food. I am kind of hungry. Slept really good last night. I laid here for, I want to say, an hour or so and listened to the night sounds and finally passed out. Then I was woken up by a ninja mosquito. Got through my bug net somehow, so I shoved my shoe down there where I had an opening. Then up there I shoved my hat in that hole right there. Pillow, totally worth it. Can't believe I didn't bring it all these years. I think I'm gonna bring it a little bit more often. Very comfortable. Put my hiking staff right there. I used that as a reference point. That way I wouldn't roll out of the shelter while I was sleeping. And I'm stuck. Got a little chilly this morning, believe it or not. So thank God I had the wool blanket. Campsite looks good. Hopefully I caught something on the game camera. The pack is still there. I do believe the fire is out. So I'm not going to start it back up because I'll probably be here about 2 or 3 hours before I head out. And it really looks like rain. That's not good. So I'm going to figure out what I'm going to have for breakfast. I was just pounding my boot out, and that little guy came out of my boot. That is a wolf spider. Not poisonous, but it is kind of painful. So yeah, always pays to pound your boots out before you put them on. Let's see what our choices are. Beef stew? No. Breakfast skillet? That's a possibility. What else we have? Oh, this is good. Canola with milk and blueberry. Or scrambled eggs and bacon. You know what? I think I want to go with the breakfast skillet. So we'll stash those away. Yes, breakfast skillet it is. It's got hash browns, scrambled eggs mixed with pork sausage, peppers, and onions. This should be a great start to the day. And we only need 8 ounces. No, wait a minute. 12 ounces of boiling water. So that shouldn't be too bad. What I'm doing is boiling my spoon because I had food residue on it last night, and just to be on the safe side, the same process of boiling the water that came from the Sawyer squeeze, just to be careful because I did take it out of a lake. I'm gonna go ahead and sanitize my spoon. So I'm thinking, yeah, that should be good. We're just gonna pour that in there and let it sit. We're gonna have dinner in or breakfast in no time. This has got to be on the list of one of my favorite mountain houses. I think beef stew and then breakfast skillet. Ironically, it's starting to rain. Yesterday, when I wanted rain, it doesn't rain. So, probably should speed up the breaking down the camp process. Just my luck. Okay, I want to show you how my pack's set up for my loadout. Down in the bottom part, which is a stuff sack right here, I have the wool blanket, the mosquito net, and the tarp you've seen up top along with the tent stakes. Of course, I'm going to attach the water bottle right here because it's empty and I'm not too worried about it. The Goal Zero solar panel up top. We have the shelter and the thermal rest and one of my camera mounts, and of course the makeshift haversack, all the camera gear. And the inside of the pack is just all normal. So I think now we're going to strap it on and kind of head on out of here while the rain has stopped. Cross your fingers. Everything's packed up. Area is clean, better than I found it. And the fire is out. I checked twice. So nothing to worry about. Okay, let's hit the trail. I figure maybe a mile hike back since I almost accidentally hiked the loop yesterday. So let's get started. I'm here talking to Jason Cusack, the Outdoor Wanderer, and he's going to be starting up a new channel. Hey Jason, would you like to tell the folks about what you're up to?
Well, right now I work, but about the new channel, we're going to be investigating spooky, scary, paranormal, outdoor locations, back roads, campsites, lakes, UFO sightings, stuff like that.
That sounds like fun. You've already got some locations lined up, I presume?
Yes, well, I have many locations that I'm working on, some that I already know that we're going to go to.
Sweet. Well, stay tuned, folks, for that. As soon as he gets that channel up and running, I'll tell you where it's at, and you come by and check out some of the spooky locations. Well, I think I'm going to wrap this video up. I just got to go up this hill here, and I'll be back at the trailhead, so I don't have much further to go. I'd like to thank you for coming along with me on my adventure. I had a really great time. I hope you did too. Usual comments, questions, anything are more than welcome. And like always, thanks for watching.